If you love the underdog story, you've got to be loving this matchup. What a performance so far by Denis Lazavik, who's really making Arjun Erigaisi sweat in their matchup so far. Being the one, Aman, always taking the lead. He's done it again, and this time with the black pieces at a very critical juncture.
You know, I've never seen Denis Lazavik really have a bad match. He's obviously been in the event and lost before, but I just don't see him get blown out, and he's always showing up. He has some of the closest matches that I can remember, and he's certainly a specialist in the online speed chess formats, the perfect candidate for the Speed Chess Championship.
And you're absolutely right. And when a player like Denis, comes to these platforms, he's the dark horse. He's got zero pressure. He's hungry. He's there to make his name. And I think he just gives it his all. He's going all out in all these games. You can see his opening preparation so far on point with both colors. And while this position that we have, Denis, again with that Catalan bishop here, but a new approach by black.
Exactly. Every time there's a break, I feel like that's a moment where you can expect a little bit of something different, because the players finally have time to look at these lines that they've been playing nonstop for the entirety of the segment. And if they haven't been working out, you can expect that that's something that they're going to workshop.
It's kind of like a Dutch right now, that what we have on the board. And with that last move, d5, defending that e4 pawn, it's so much about play on the dark squares with that knight on e5 at the right moment. If you're Denis, he's looking at the f3 break as well. I have faced these positions with the black pieces, and to be honest, never really enjoyed it.
I don't blame you. Yeah, these are really tough to play correctly. The d5 move actually just shuts down the bishop on b7. It's looking at d5, it's looking at e4, whereas f3 all of a sudden opens things up. So I really do prefer white's position, but the engine is reminding us it's just completely equal here, and black is right to strike at the d4 pawn in order to try to undermine that e5 knight.
And you have to do it as quickly as possible. And Arjun, as a player, I think this suits his style, to go for these direct approaches. We see what looks like a pawn sacrifice right now. Queen takes pawn, but watch out. There are ideas like g5 in the air, that bishop on f4. It did not have enough squares, and it would have meant a loss of that knight at the center of the board.
Yeah, and I think there were some big tactics in the previous turn involving c6, because I was looking at the g5 move even then, and after the pawn takes on c5, he had to move the knight out of the way, because at that point, it's just too unstable to stay there. Look at the center, Tanya. It's being assaulted by pretty much every piece in white's position. You're taking this bishop away, and look at the computer spotting all sorts of tactics. Bishop takes on e4. What is going on here?
That is incredible, because if the queen takes the bishop, then after the queen trades, suddenly the knight on d7 is left hanging. After bishop takes pawn, pawn takes bishop runs into the idea of queen b3 check apart from bishop d6 is what I'm spotting. The bishop on b7 is hanging, loose pieces drop off, and it looks like Arjun's got a ton loads of them in each of these variations.
Double exclamation mark. Totally deserved. What a shot there. You'd never expect, like with the knight defended here, you just couldn't believe that this is the move that you're worried about. But bishop takes e4 is picking up a crucial central pawn. Imagine that black reacts by, trying to say, okay, I'm not going to take this bishop. Well, guess what? You have another threat to deal with. Bishop takes h7, and another one, bishop takes d5. So Tanya, it's not just picking up a pawn, it's threatening two more.
This looks like it's absolutely busted. And I think what Arjun potentially could have missed was the idea of queen b3 check, because it took a while to spot that. Bishop d6, queen f7, you still feel that things are under control there. You have enough material for the rook. And now what we see, queen takes bishop was eventually chosen, and this endgame that we had, opposite color bishop, but a super healthy extra pawn for Denis. The rook extremely active, a terribly weak pawn formation for Arjun here. This is going to be a tough defense. Bishop e5, always in the air.
And I wonder about this move b3. I guess if c4, b4 could be the idea. I don't like allowing these pawns to trade, so I imagine Denis is trying to find a way, and we see it here, maybe with a4, where he's not going to let that happen.
Well, he's gone bishop b5 and your move a4. It can be played immediately, but the point with that is that the bishop falls back and suddenly that a pawn's weak, right? So you don't have time to actually pick up c4 in that case.
Yeah, I mean, you can take it, but
Oh,
you
he
don't
goes
win a
for it.
pawn. Yeah, it's weird. He did actually go for it, but didn't take. He says, well, I'd rather win the c pawn.
And he does make the white rook a bit passive. And now if you take on a4, I think white wants to line up the rook on a1. But let's point out that black's rook on f7 also defends a7. I'm trying to understand why Arjun isn't capturing on a4 immediately. Rook takes pawn was the idea. He defends that first.
Yeah, but now c5 and everything is defended. This is not the position that you want to have here.
And this has been just the crazy part about this match, right, Aman? That Denis has been making these incredible maneuvers, these strategic ideas, beautiful technique in the endgame. But also when it's come to moments like spotting moves like bishop takes pawn, spotting power tactics, he's done that exceptionally well.
Yes, he's delivered kind of an all-around performance here. The one thing that has been in his favor the entire match and continues to be now is time. Arjun down under 30 seconds. He's not set himself up for success because I think almost every single game, Tanya, he has been down on the clock.
And that's come to bite him so many times as well, right? Those final few moments ending in a blunder just because it's an extremely difficult position to defend. You need those extra seconds. And this one, he does stay 2 pawns, which I think are about to become 3 pawns because the e3 pawn, I don't see a way to actually defend that. Maybe even 4 pawns.
Yeah, rook g6 does force the king backwards. And now if you want to defend this pawn, I think you actually, well, okay, he actually found a way. I was going to say you could give it up, but he says no. And a 2-point lead, Tanya, for the first time